Top story tonight. India is bracing for Tropical Cyclone Fani that is barreling towards its eastern coast, packing wind speeds of over 200 kilometres per hour. Now, the storm is currently moving up the Bay of Bengal, east of Andhra Pradesh. It's the strongest storm to move through that area since Tropical Cyclone Nargis in 2008. More than 100 million people are in its path. It's expected to make landfall on Friday afternoon in the town of Puri in the state of Odisha. Two major ports, as well as all schools and colleges, will be closed for the next 3 days. On Saturday, Fani is expected to gradually weaken as it moves close to Kolkata. Heavy rains and winds are also expected. Tourists and fishermen have all been told to avoid the coastal areas. Now, Fani will then weaken into a tropical rainstorm as it tracks over Bangladesh. Cox's Bazar, where hundreds of thousands of Rohingya refugees are living in camps with minimal shelter, have also been put on alert. More than 800,000 people have been evacuated, with 3,000 shelters set to accommodate them. More than 100,000 dry food packets are ready to be airdropped, and Indian emergency personnel and the Navy, they are all on standby. Odisha is not alone, though, in preparing for the cyclone, as neighbouring states of Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, they have also been put on high alert. Fani will be the fourth such storm to hit the country's east coast in 3 decades. Now, for more on this, let's go over to Rebecca Bundan. She's live for us in Mumbai. Rebecca, huge preparations, they're being put in place right now. Presumably authorities think that it's going to be enough if Cyclone Fani hits with the strength that it's expected to.
Well, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi in India held a high-level meeting today. That he chaired that meeting to review the preparations that are underway for this storm, which is being classified as an extremely severe cyclonic storm, with those wind speeds which could be up to 200 kilometres per hour. It's working its way up the Bay of Bengal, expected to make landfall on Friday in that eastern state of Odisha. Now, there are huge preparations underway. Hundreds of thousands of people have already been evacuated, and many more will be evacuated over the coming hours. There's also teams on standby. There's Navy personnel that have been deployed, the Army, also disaster rescue teams as well, disaster rescue forces. They're there in place as well. So really, these huge preparations are ongoing. Fishermen have also been warned to keep away from those waters, given the risks that's there. The coastline is on very high alert indeed. There are also some hundreds and hundreds of shelters that have been put in place for these people that are being evacuated. So they don't want to take, the authorities certainly don't want to take any chances. And if we look back to other cyclones, in 2017 there was a cyclone that hit the south coast of India, Cyclone Oki, that caused huge damage, millions of dollars worth of damage, and claimed more than 200 lives. Many more people were missing in that storm. Then if we look back even further, 20 years to 1999, there was a cyclone that hit Odisha as well, and that actually claimed some 10,000 lives. So you can see that the kind of destruction that these cyclones can do.
Rebecca, the areas where Fani is expected to hit have already voted in the elections, but will it affect the storing and counting of the votes, and could it also hamper the 5th phase of voting, which is set to begin on Monday?
That's correct, that the voting has already taken place in Odisha. The general elections, which are ongoing at the moment, are held in 7 phases, and Odisha has already voted. However, there have been measures that have been taken. There are these electronic voting machines that were used in that polling, and we understand that some of those machines have been moved to different locations for safety. Some of them have been moved onto higher floors, for example, because water damage would be a problem in this case. There are also other measures that have been being taken related to the general election. In fact, the Election Commission has eased some of the restrictions that are in place on the government during the election process to allow them to actually take steps that could help relief efforts in this case as that cyclone continues to approach the coastline.
Thanks very much for that, Rebecca Bundan, speaking to us from Mumbai.